Hello, happy Friday. Okay, I'm here. Hands up, who's all here? I know Nancy is watching on TV. Hi, Nancy. I am just getting myself situated so that I am in a comfy spot and I don't have to move because that's going to be tricky. I have put the link to the doll in the chat. So if you are joining in and you're wanting to play along, it is right there. I have grabbed a whole lot of stuff that is around me. So, I hope you have your coloring stuff and a drink. I am drinking Canada Dry. What is it? It is strawberry lemonade zero. If you really want to be like me, but then you have to run to the store and go get some. So, is that helping? Probably not. Okay, I don't know. I can list what I have around me. I don't want to get started yet. I want to make sure that, I know that everybody is here. So what I have is I printed the doll out on kind of a marbled paper, which is fine because I'm going to cover the whole thing. I wanted something a little bit creamy and I couldn't find anything else, but I wanted a little bit of a cardstock, a lightweight cardstock, and I like that. The other thing I have is I have a bunch of paint brushes here. I have my Prismacolor pencils in different stages around me. So I have my favorites right here, and I have my giant book of Prismacolor pencils right here. So I can play with that. I also have, where is it? Right here. I have my dilutions journal. If you are ever looking for a fantastic journal to use for coloring or stamping or anything like that, the dilutions journal is fantastic to use colored pencils on. So I love drawing. I don't really do that on camera. These are all classes I've taken with Tracy Scott. But yeah, I love doing these kinds of things. Hi, Phyllis. You're switching to TV? Perfect. So yeah, that is like, these are all the things that are just lovely with colored pencil. So I will be putting the doll in here. Hi, Joyce. Corey, are you here? Because I hope you brought your crayons. And I hope you have a 64 pack. So that's what I have. I have my dilutions journal. I have I have some Tombos right here. And I also grabbed the Inktense pencils that I have because I just don't know where I want to use what. So I'm just going to really do this in kind of a color mixed media. The other thing that you can do is, of course, grab your watercolors. You can grab inks that you can use. You can grab, if you have, what are the markers called? The alcohol markers. I was hoping you had Crayola crayons, the wax crayons, So that's what I have. The other thing that you could of course do is color this digitally, but I don't want to do that. I want to actually try and color this completely myself. And I know I can do it. I just not in this shed. So that's what I want to do. So I also have scissors, I have glue handy, and I have some other things that I can use as a background when I put it into the dilutions journal, which I have not decided that that's where it's going to go, because I'm trying to keep my dilutions journal as flat as possible. So that is really my drawing journal, where I have another journal that is also large that I can use to put something more bulky into. So I may go that route. So what was my inspiration here? Well, I found this dress on in one of the Facebook groups. I'll be really honest. I found this dress and I was like, oh, that's a beautiful dress, but I don't know how I'm going to use that to dress a paper doll, right? Like to do it as a real paper doll thing, because there was so many bits and pieces. And if you, like, you guys don't know how I actually work the images, because I take them apart and then I put them together again, and I was like, that's going to be so complicated, so I didn't want to do that. So then I created a colored or a coloring image out of it, and I was like, that is perfect, and it puts something completely different onto it again. So that's where this idea came from, and then I thought, why don't we all color together? Why not? So the first thing that I'm going to say to you is, if you are going to use watercolors on this, I did not print this off on photo paper. So this is just regular cardstock. So I am afraid that if I start using watercolors, that it's going to, that the lines are not going to be as crisp, which is okay. There is a trick for that as well. And I'm trying to see if I have the right pencil for that. Probably not. Oh, wait. Oh, right here. A black pencil will do the trick. If you have any questions, the chat is open. So if you have any questions, if I am just moving ahead and you're like, oh, I totally lost track of what you're doing and why are you doing that, let me know in the chat and I will like keep checking it. I may not be super quick about it. All right. The first thing I want to do is I want to color the skin. That way that's out of the way, and that's one of the more difficult things to do. I usually start with the darker color. So I have my Tombos here. And these are skin color Tombos. Right here. And I have a peachy one. So I don't know if you want the numbers or anything like that, but I can give those to you. So the Tombow colors that I'm using are 910, 912, 942, 990, 992, and 873. So that is what I'm using for the skin. And I'm going to start. I take the brush part, and I am super close with the camera. So this is as close as I can get without totally having you be on top of my fingers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color or outline inside the black line with the darkest color. And I know that I'm going to get some lines. It is all good because I'm going to blend it all out with the colored pencils. But the markers are giving me a base color. Unless it goes absolutely perfect, and then I'm not going to need them. So then I'm grabbing 942 and I'm going back over everything. Now I also have paintbrushes that if it doesn't go right, then I can just use my paintbrushes over top. And I'm kind of now going in circular motions over top. I'm trying to blend out the base, the first color. And it's truly possible that this is going to be way too dark. So I hope you guys had a lovely week. And did you miss me last week? I'm kind of like, oh, it's been a while since I've been live. But yeah, I missed last week because I was at Toy Story 5 with the grandkids. Okay, yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take a light beige. This is a peach beige. I want the regular. What is this one? Nope. I'm going to grab the eggshell and maybe some pencil sharpener. Oh gosh. Wouldn't you know it, my pencil is cracking. So I use Principal Color Premiers and they are very prone to cracking. So I'm being super careful in sharpening it. I think I need just one more. There we go. Now she's sharp enough. Okay, so then I'm just going to blend over top of this to see if I can tone it down a little bit and blend it out a little bit better by putting colored pencil over it. Because it is opaque, you can kind of cover mistakes and all of that. There we go. Now it's starting to look better. So I can keep trying to chat, but it becomes very difficult once I start coloring to talk and to color and talk at the same time. I don't know what it is, but it's really difficult. Okay, I have an old makeup brush, and I usually just use that to take away some of the bits of colored pencil that will come off, because it does, like, you do get a little bit of wax that comes off of it. Okay, I'm good with that. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing right here. So I'm going to take the darkest color. Again, that's this one. And instead of making straight lines, I'm going to try and see if it's better if I just very lightly, like I'm barely touching the paper, if that works a little bit better. And I'm going in circular motions around. I think that is the key to be able to blend it better. Now, if you have other ideas, let me know. I'm open. Oops, I just lost my glasses. Okay. And then I'm grabbing this one. Okay. I'm doing the exact same thing as I did before, and then I will go over it again with the eggshell. So how are you guys doing with your with the mice? I took my lap book to the grandkids, and they asked me, oh, 3 times, 4 times to tell the story. It was really cute. And then that is more peachy than beige, I think. And then on Saturday, on the last Saturday, I was taking my grandson back home with me because it was his time for a sleepover with me. So I took the book back home because, you know, I don't want them to ruin it. And he's in the back seat, and he's 4, and he's sitting there, and I was listening to him tell himself the story again, and it was just so cute. Which is exactly why I made it. Okay, I think this needs to dry for a moment. That's also going to help me. So in the meantime, I want to color the face. There's a fly in here, and it is driving me crazy. So to do the face, I don't know if I want to use the markers because they're a little bit wider or thicker. So I think I want to just go straight in with the colored pencil. And I am going to use a bunch of different ones to get a skin color. And that might seem really strange, but I'm going to grab a whole bunch here. And they're going to go from dark to lighter, and then I'll just blend it out constantly. So I have grabbed a Tuscan red, a chocolate, a beige, I don't need ginger root. Definitely not. I have 2 beige. Let's use the one that isn't used yet. And then we can blend it out with the eggshell. I know I need some peach as well, so I have a light peach right here. Do I have anything else? I don't think so. I think that is all. Like, I need these 5. And I think you can see the colors. So again, I am just going to, I need to get that one little, need to get that one point out so that it's not constantly annoying me. There we go. So I'm just going to sharpen these very sharp. Going to make sure that they're very, very sharp. Because the face, of course, is not very big. Oh, shoot. At least you can see that I struggle with my pencils too. Okay, now I know if I just turn the pencil sharpener, that sometimes that works better, because then you're not moving the pencil. There we go. Nice and sharp, all of them. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with the chocolate. And I'm just going to go in very small circular motions, and I'm going to try and zoom you in just even more. Remind me that you are zoomed in. So I'm just going all the way around. Just by doing little itty bits. Want a little bit right here under the mouth, and a little bit around the mouth. And I think I want a little bit under the eyes as well, just to create some shadows. And I want the Tuscan red right here on the side. So just right there over top of the chocolate, blending it out just a little bit more. So I'm just going from here down to right about there. Then I am taking the light peach and I'm going all the way around again, blending everything out just slightly. And I'll keep going over the colors just to blend it out more and more and more and more and more. And I don't know about you guys, but I get really quiet when I'm coloring. So then I'm going over it with the beige, and again, blending it just a little bit further. Oops. I have glasses and they are, well, these are super enlargement glasses, but I lost one of the legs. So when I'm looking down, they usually slide right off my face. So that's every time you hear me laughing, that's what's happening. Okay, I'm just laughing at myself. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing again with the eggshell. And it looks really strange because, of course, like there's pretty much no color in her face, just all the beiges and that little bit of red. However, it does work. While I have the eggshell in my hand, I'm also going to go back over top of the arms. To blend that all out so it's not so blotchy. And I keep turning my pencil so that I am keeping the point somewhat sharp. If you're using something different, the pencils might be a little harder, so then you're not getting the your point isn't coming off as easily. It is working. I was like, I can maybe draw a doll, but I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that on camera. Because if it goes wrong, then then it really goes wrong. And I'm stuck with it during a live. If I do that on just a regular video, then I'm not so stuck with it. But yeah. Okay, so let's see. So a face is always a little bit lighter than your body, so that's okay. But she still looks pretty weird because there's pretty much no color in her face right now. So what I'm going to do is I am taking the Tuscan Red And I'm going to color her mouth. Let's start there. Let's give her some pretty dark red lips. That already makes a huge difference. However, I can't get the angle just right where I can see what I'm doing. Well, that's better. Right here, I need to blend right here a little bit better. That's better. Now I am going to grab, I need something to make her eyes pop a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some aquamarine because that works usually really well. It's a nice bright color. So, and what I'm going to do with that, I want it a little bit sharper. Okay, I'm going to draw her eye just like that. That will give her some color on her face. Then her eyes, of course, are white, so they need some color, and I want to make them, I'm going to color them that same aquamarine. Don't worry, I have a reason for that. It does make it all pop. I think that is looking much better. Now I need to color her eyebrows a little. So I am taking the the chocolate. And I'm going to just make little lines, kind of like if you're drawing your eyebrows in, like the little lines, kind of like that. But then much smaller. And then I want a little bit, I'm just going to put a little bit more of the Tuscan red right here. And then I'm going to go back over it with the eggshell and kind of blending it out and hopefully getting a little bit more shape to her face. That works. Now I'm grabbing my black pencil and I'm going to start by sharpening it again. And you can use a marker too, like if you have like a super fine marker, but it's hard to get, like if you're trying to use it over top of colored pencil, because it's leaving a waxy film, not all markers will work on that property. So I am using my black Prismacolor pencil, and I'm just going to go back over the lines that I have just accidentally colored with. And this way you're not getting like these really terrible black lines. So I'm just outlining everything back in. Not really in the hairline too much because we still have to color the hair as well. So right here on the body, I'm putting her collarbones back in. Right there. And then the outline, of course. Wherever I feel that it needs a little bit more black, I am just going to put it right back. Right here in her armpits. Just like that. There we go. That is all the skin colors. So I'm going to zoom you out a little bit. And I'm going to put all the skin colors away. If I don't put them away, then I will have the biggest mess on my hands in a moment. So I am putting them away where they came from, sort of. Chocolate and that one, and the beige can go back in here as well. Black goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there. And I can put these markers away now because I don't need them anymore. Okay. Next, I want to work on the flowers. And the flowers are tricky because they are, I don't know if you're working on this, you know how small those flowers are. So I do want to put them in different colors. But I don't know if I'm going to totally put all the different shadows and everything in there. So I'm going to try, but the way that I'm going to try is by using different colors in the same group. So for example, if I want to make a pink rose, I am going to use multiple different colors pink to achieve the shadow feeling. So I'll do one leaf in one color, another leaf in another color, like just to bring out the different shades. Same with the red. I will use that, and I'll probably use a little bit of colored pencil to go with it to get the beautiful shading in the reds. And I want yellow roses as well. So I have some different colors, yellow marker, and the green will be for the leaves around it. And then right here, these berries, I think I want to do those in pinks. And then the little daisies that are right here, I want to do in a different color pink as well, or maybe even in white. How are you guys doing? Let me know. Are you coloring? Are you confused? Are you enjoying yourself? So I think what I want to do is I want to start with the green. And I'm going to grab a couple more greens so that I can really shade it all up. So I'm taking the darkest color and I'm taking the fine point, and I'll zoom you all the way in again. There. And I'm just going to outline all the lines that are in the center. Of course, when I'm super quiet, my tummy goes, too quiet here. Let me start rumbling. I ate. No worries, I ate. Okay, I think I got them. And then I'm going to take a lighter color. And I'm just coloring them in. I'm probably not going to use the colored pencils to go over this. Good Lord. I'm just going straight over with the marker, and then you get the different shades. There. Here we go. And I want to use, I have a different color again. And I'm just going to go over top a little bit so that you get like the really variations in the green and the shading and all of that. And I'm really just lightly touching the flower or the leaves with the marker. Oh. Okay, let's go to those little daisies. And I have white. Yeah, I have white and I have pink. I'm going to grab a pink pencil. And what I want to do is make the center pink, and then we're blending it out with the white. So I am grabbing a hot pink. And I'm just going to color the centers, just like that. Just on the daisies. And then I'm going to take the white and I'm going to blend that pink out. And you can use like different colors, pink, and you can use whatever you want. Okay. So that's those. Then the pink, I'm just going to use, and I don't want this pink for that. I want I have a deco pink here. It's very subtle pink. And I want to kind of color these little bits of flower in. Here we go. Doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. Now I am going to touch these roses. So let's get these roses colored. I think I want to start with the yellow. And I'm going to start with this color. So this is 055, and I'm going to use the small bit on this side. And I'm going at the end, and I'm kind of going just at the centers of the rose, so of each petal. So I'll use different colors in here to get like as much depth as I can. So I think I want to do this one in yellow as well. Go away, fly. You're annoying me. So I was doing really good with not having any flies in the house. And then on the other day, I came home and I opened my door, and the door handle came right off the door into my hand. So I sent a picture of the door handle in my hand to my landlord saying, well, this is not very handy, because of course the door wasn't open. And I had to go to my neighbors to borrow a screwdriver to be able to jimmy the lock open, which is not the most perfect thing in the world either. And then my landlord came over with a new lock to put on my door. But of course, that meant that the front door had to be open for him to be able to install the lock. And I got all kinds of bugs in the house, and I just hate it. I'm just getting some extra color on here. Just trying to see where I can put it so that the roses kind of become full of color, because I don't want to have just like one color rose, right? Like you want the depth and you want to see where everything is. Okay. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. I am going to use this one and kind of blend everything out as much as possible. It's working a little bit. I can see it working. And I think if this was just a little bit bigger, I think it would be a beautiful watercolor image too. Oh God, go away, fly. think those are yellow. So then I want to do these two in pink. And I'm not sure if I want to do this bright color pink. I think I want to grab something a little bit more muted. I think this is better. I actually think I'm going to take this one out. So I am using a 800, 743, and 723 pink. So I'm just giving it a little bit of outlines here and there. It definitely looks way easier than it is. But this is so small. These flowers are so small. And then right here, same thing. So quiet today. Are you guys all coloring along? What's happening? I know there's some people that are watching on TV. Okay, that's one. Let's go with the darker one. I'm really just kind of scribbling in the petals just to get some color in there so that once I go over it with that really light color, that everything kind of just pops right out. Ow. Okay, and then I'm going to take the pink, really light pink, and I'm just going to blend everything out towards the outside. And it is definitely doing what I was hoping it would do. So that's always a bonus. This is a very, very light pink. So I had to scribble there just to see if it was actually working. But it is. I think that is starting to look super pretty. So now I need to do something with the red. So I have my two colors of red, and I know I was thinking that I might be able to use the Prismacolor pencils, but that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take a gray. I'm going to mix in a gray, and that will give me a different shade. So if I start with the gray, and we'll just kind of give it that extra shading to go in there, and then I'll go over top of that with the red, and that will blend that gray into the red. So you'll get a couple of different colors from just gray and red. I think that should work. So then I'm going over it with the darker red. And you can really see that I'm not really coloring in the lines. I'm just kind of scribbling to give it that depth. Then I'm going back over it with this lighter red. And then I am going to take I think I want to take this color, and I'm just going to blend everything together from there. That should work. Should being the main word. It is blending. So this is kind of like a peachy orangey skin color, but it does work to blend that red out. It does look good. I can see it on the screen that it does look good. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on this side. And then again, I'll take this one and I'll go over top of it. So you can definitely see all the shading in there. And I think that's lovely. There we go. Ta-da! The flowers are done. Okay, next, the shoes. Let's go with the shoes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like a sparkly shoe. So let's see what I have that I can use to make a sparkly shoe. Do I have? have this, but I don't know if it's still working. Oh yeah, it's a silver sparkle. So it's a silver sparkle gel pen that has nothing left in the tank. So that's not going to work. I can probably, at the end, do this with, do I want to do it at the end? No, I want to do it now. And there's a reason for that. So, that's my Tombow. I don't need the Tombow. I need that. So I am grabbing my embossing powder, and I know that I have a sparkly one. This is Rainbow Sparkle. So I am taking my Versa marker, and I'm going to color that shoe in. Just like that. Like that. I'm going to go around here a little bit so that the whole thing is covered. Then I need something that can catch that's yucky. I need a piece of paper. Okay. So I'm just going to cover this in the embossing powder. And I'm just going to shake that out on there. And then I'm grabbing a super small paintbrush. Super small, I said. Right here. And I'm just going to go around the feet to get rid of the embossing powder, because I don't want sparkly feet, I want sparkly shoes. And kind of brushing away whatever I'm still seeing. There we go. And then I'm grabbing my heat gun and I'm just going to emboss this. And I'm just waiting for this to be super hot. I'm not sure why it doesn't want to do it. Okay, that did it. Yep, now it's good. That's weird. I had to use it from the bottom. I've never really had to do that, but it, you know, sometimes that's what happens. But look how pretty sparkly shoes we have now. Okay, let's wipe this all off. Okay. Okay, next, the band around the flowers, I want to have in a cream color. So I think that I am going to use I know what color I want to have the gown, so that's why I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to make this happen. So I'm going to use that and that. And then probably that eggshell again. I think the eggshell is going to be very well used today. So again, I am sharpening the pencil. Okay. And I am going to first start coloring around the back. And it's going to be a little bit darker right here on the edges, because this is where the ribbon was attached to the skirt. Right there. I'm also watching the time to make sure I don't go over, because I know that I can get this done in the 3 hours that I usually allot myself for these projects. And I think I went wrong here. That's okay. I can fix it. See that fly? There's that silly fly. So I'm kind of putting the green just around the inside edges, and then I'll make it beige all the way to the outside, or cream to the outside. Just like that. Right here as well, inside the bow. Right here. So I'm kind of just giving the darker to the inside and then working it lighter to the outside. There. Then I'm going to take gray green light, and I'm just going back over top. Yes, I have my hand over my mouth. I'm sorry. I'm just blending until this is completely covered. And I love the combination of using the bright colors of the markers, like that just stands out and it pops against uh, the the colored pencils. Sorry, that was a difficult word to get said. So I'm just blending it out. And it almost looks like there's no color coming off of this, that light gray green, but it is. It is just very, very lightly blending. And then I'm taking the eggshell and then I'm just going over the whole thing so that it gives a little bit less of a green and more of a kind of greenish. I'm not sure what color it's giving me. It's just blending. It does look cool. But I'm not sure what color that is turning into. It's pretty though. It's very pretty. It's a very faint color. It's almost like there's no color there. It's kind of blending right in with the background. So once the whole dress is colored, that's when you can see what color the ribbon has turned into, I think. It's very pretty. Yeah, I know. If you color lots, like, do you sometimes surprise yourself with the colors that you are coming up with? All right. The gloves I want to be white. I want them to be white. So, that means that I want to use a little bit of gray. And that may sound really funny, but I want to use gray to blend. So I have bigger gray, but I still have a teeny tiny little gray. So I'm going to use my teeny tiny little gray. As long as I can still sharpen it, it is not useless yet. Okay. So for the gloves, I need to put the shadows in. Like and that goes right here at the edges of the cuffs. Right there. And then that's enhance those lines that are there just a little bit more with this gray pencil. Okay, then I am taking the white and now I'm just going to blend all over that gray and everything, because that's just going to blend right in. And it's going to make the white look whiter than it is. And the other option that I had was to use cardstock, but I find that with craft paper. But I thought with if I was doing craft paper, it would be much harder to see the lines. So that's why I decided that I was going to use a creamy color. But colors, like when you're using colored pencils, they look so good when you're using craft paper. However, this is turning very nicely white. There we go. And just if you're watching and you're a Saturday paper doll person, white is the color for August. So just in case you wanted a little hint, there it is. Oh, hi, Sherry. Well, thank you. What journal are you working on, Sherry? So far, I am very pleased with how this is turning out. It's kind of a shot in the dark, right? Because you're using colors. It's not like I'm practicing beforehand. So you never know what you're going to get. And I think it is turning out very lovely. Oh, well, I wish your sister all the best. And lots of well wishes. I really like how that gray looks and how it is making those gloves just kind of pop out. For a very long time, I colored and colored and colored and drew and did all kinds of stuff. I went through colored pencils like you wouldn't believe. So I have many, many, many duplicate colors now, and I have many sets. I have a set to go here and a set to go there. There, I like how that looks. That came out really well. Let me zoom you out so we can see where we're at right now. So I think what we have left is, let me lift it up. We have the face, like the face is done, but we have the hair left. We have the headpiece left, and obviously my printer cut it off. Then we have the two bows left and the dress itself. So we are coming along quite quickly because the dress itself is pretty quick. It's a big area, so it's not going to take nearly as long as all the little petals in the flowers, or the face or anything like that. So I think it is going to come together a little faster now. Let's get the hair done and then we'll go to the dress, because if we got all the tedious stuff done, then it'll be good. Oof, that's heavy duty chemo. Yes. Okay. For the hair, I want to grab a bunch of different browns. I think brown would look the nicest. And again, I am just going to use the my colored pencils because I find it easier sometimes. I'm adding a little bit of red in there because I like how that little bit of a touch of red just will add that little extra. And this one. So the colors that I've grabbed are, and it may look really weird, but they're not so weird when you see them together. So I have a dark umber, I have a putty beige, I have a chocolate, I have light umber, terracotta, and seashell pink. I'm going to start with the seashell pink because now I am going to color each strand of the hair in a different color. That's why I grabbed a couple of different ones, and then you get the depth of the color. And it's not going to be just this flat brown hair. And I'll sharpen as I'm going. Oops. add a little bit of the terracotta just for a little red accent. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Whoops. Oh, I lost a lot of color there. I am just going to take this right in my hand. And see if I can get a little color done. Just like that with just the little tip of the pencil. And I'm just giving it some accents with the dark umber. So that everything is kind of colored. But it's not totally staticky looking. Let me hold that up for you so you can see. Now I'm going to grab my gold gel pen and I'm going to color in these pieces. You can use silver as well, or white, whatever color you want to use. And it kind of makes it sparkle. So there we go, the hair is done. And now it is time for the bows. I'm avoiding that dress. I want to make the bows. I believe I want to make them pink. Yeah, like a really pretty shiny pink. And the best way to get a shiny pink is to use the colors, is to use colored pencil. So I am just grabbing a bunch of different pinks that will work really nice together, and they will give beautiful color, bright color pink. And I'm going to use a white. So I'm going to start with a mulberry to outline everything. Then I'm going to blend that back a little bit with a processed red. Then I'm going over that with the hot pink. And I'm blending it all out with the white to get the color to tone down just slightly. Okay. So I'm going to start right here at the bottom one, and I'm going to just put the darkest color right here on the center, kind of to give all the creases color, just like that. So the same idea as the gloves, but then using mulberry. Then I'm taking the processed red and I'm kind of going over it. Same thing, doing the exact same thing, just blending it out a little bit more. and going over it with the hot pink, and I'm doing something a little different. So now I'm just blending it by going over it in circular motions, kind of blending it towards the outside. And I'll show you this again with the top bow as well. And now I'm grabbing the white and I'm going over the whole thing again and just blending it all the way to the outside. So you get a pretty pink bow. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to this bow and I'm doing the exact same thing again. So I'm taking the mulberry and I'm coloring all the creases. And you know, it doesn't have to be neat and tidy, because you're going to clean it all up once you put that white in there. The process red. So it's kind of pulling the color through. Oh, I'm losing my point. Okay, then the hot pink. And I'm just blending that out. Forgot that I needed to put some process red here. And I can blend that out with the hot pink. Okay, and then I'm grabbing white and just blending the whole thing out all the way to the end. Okay, now I'm going to grab my black pencil. If I can find it, it's right here. Right here. And I'm going to just give it a little sharpen. I don't usually use this black pencil for it. I usually use a harder one, but I don't know where I put it. So this is what I have to go by. So I'm just putting all those creases back in with the black pencil. And then it just looks a little bit neater. I can go all the way around here. Now you could also use the mulberry to do this, but I'm choosing to use black so it stands out a little bit better. There we go. That's one. There we go. All right, there is no more avoiding this. It is time for the skirt. And I have a couple of different colors that I want to use here. So I want to make the dress kind of a minty green. But to get that minty, excuse me, maybe a jade green would work. If I do that with that, and then, maybe that gray green. Where did I put that gray green? This is usually how this happens. I end up with all my pencils outside of the case, and I can't find what I'm looking for. I know I want that gray green, but do you think I can find it? Oh, there it is. So I think that would be a very, very pretty combination. And I'm going to test it. So instead of just putting it on there and seeing that it doesn't work, I'm going to test this. So I'm putting a little bit of the cobalt turquoise. Then I'm taking the jade green and I'm going to blend that out. And then I'm going to take that gray green light and go back over top of it and see if I am getting the color that I am wanting. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's sharpen them up. That's one. Two. What time are we at? I'm actually going faster than I thought I would, which is okay because I still need to actually, once it's all colored, cut it out and do something with the background. And all right, I am going to take her upside down, And I'm going to color right here. And I'm doing it very lightly with that dark color. There we go. And then on the bodice, there is all the lines. I don't know if you can see them. So there's all the lines. And what I want to do is I want to trace those lines with this color. And again, I'm using a very, very light touch, barely even touching the paper. There. Then I am taking the jade green and I'm going around all the edges. Now I could go over this twice if I really want to, because it's a pretty bigger, it's a bigger area to color, so. There. And then I am taking my light gray green. I'm going over top of everything, kind of blending it all together. So I will probably go over this twice just to make sure that the colors are solid. Okay, it's a little bit too much turquoise. So what I want to do is I want to go back in with the jade green and not the turquoise. So and I'm going a little bit further with the jade green this time. Pushing a little harder on my pencil too, so that there's a little bit more color coming off. Shoe fly. And then we'll take this one again. We'll go back over top and see if we can blend that in just a little better. And knock that turquoise back just a little bit more. Shoe fly, don't bother me. I do really like the contrast of the top with that bow. That looks really pretty. However, I'm not sure about that turquoise, but now I've made a commitment, so now I have to kind of do it all over. So I'm just going to very lightly, I'm just going even lighter than I did at the bodice. Put some of these lines in just to get it, because they'll give it the shape. So instead of using a gray or a brown or a black, I'm using that turquoise green to give it the shapes that it needs to have. And all I'm doing is I am putting the pencil down and just flicking it. That's kind of what I'm doing, just like that. Putting the pencil down and flick. So I think this is giving it a lot of movement in that skirt. And then right here as well, because this is of course the gathers on the back side of the, or the inside of the skirt. There we go. And I think I may go a little bit along the outer edge, just a little, not a lot. And I'm also not going in a circular motion. I'm just really just giving it an outline. But very lightly. And then the same right here. And along the legs. Then that jade green again. And now I'm just kind of blending all the way along the edges, quite far into everything, to give it that a little bit, yeah, minty, not quite minty color. And now I am going in circular motions along the edges. So every edge, I'm just coloring like that. And it's again making those gloves stand out just that little bit extra, huh? Okay. It's just giving it that shading, that extra shading. So, because I want it to look kind of like a ball. Right here, I am putting a little bit more pressure on there so that I get that little bit darker on the edges, because the bottom of the gown, of the dress, is allowed to be a little bit darker, right? That is like the shadowy part. So I'm pressing a little harder. But still making sure that there is no sharp, no hard corners or anything like that. Like, I want it to be pretty soft. Oh my goodness, I think they're multiplying now. How is that possible? How can there be that many flies in here? Okay. Let's give this a little bit more right here so it's a little softer. And right here as well, a little softer. Okay. Now I'm going over it with the light gray green, or gray green light, and I'm just going to do the bottom first. So that at least this piece is done. And I'm just blending, just going over it and over it and over it until it looks blended enough for me. And I am extremely picky when it comes to the blending, so. However, I do really like how it looks. That looks good. I always like it when the pencil gets down to about that much. Go away, fly. Get away. When it gets to about that, because it's easier to blend it. It just, like, because it's a little stumpier, and it just allows you to really push down on it and blend it and get it to do all kinds of pretty things. Okay, I think that looks good. I think I like that. So I'm going to take my black pencil, maybe, perhaps, right there. I'm just going around the legs just to give them that little bit of extra definition. And I am not going around to the base of the skirt with the black pencil. I want that to stay exactly how it is. So I want the legs, but I don't want anything else. I do just want a little bit more. There we go. Taking that bow, picking it up a little bit. There we go. All right, so now I need to do the skirt. And I think I need to sharpen my pencil before I get started on that. So I'm going to start right here at the top and just blending it. So it's got a little bit of color, but not a ton, I think. And what I do like is when I go over these lines of the dark turquoise, how bright that turquoise becomes. Like it just makes it pop right out. And this does not have to be as well covered as the base. This, of course, is shadowier, so it needed a little bit more coverage, where this is just a skirt and it doesn't need nearly as much coverage. So I'm just blending it as like a little bit less hard than what I did at the bottom. Just enough so that it is blended, but not enough. So a lot of the times I prefer to use markers for these big areas because it just takes so long to color it with the pencils. But I do like how it looks with the pencils. I'm just working my way down. And I'm trying to go in mostly in one direction, but I'm also trying to stay in focus. So that's why I'm just moving around all the time, but I am trying to go from top to bottom. All right. This is that part of the project where you're like, oh, can we be done with this already? At least I am thinking that. I need some more pencil sharpening. And then I think we're on the last little bit. I just love how that turquoise just starts popping out. I did not expect that to happen, but I really like that effect. Little bit left, just a little bit left. It's pretty good. I can't believe how much I am guessing every time how much time I'm going to need for the projects. I wasn't sure when I started. I was like, oh, I don't know. I think I may need more time than 3 hours. And, 3 hours is, we're at just over 2. And I'm just finishing up the coloring, and then I can do the background for the spread and then cut this out. And then it's just about done. So it goes pretty quick. All right, I think we got it. There we are. I think she is lovely. Lovely, lovely. I do want to put a little bit right here. Let's just fix all these little areas where the lines are a little bit blurred because, you know, I sometimes need to go back to kindergarten and learn how to color within the lines. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I think she's pretty cool. So I'm going to cut her out. All that work, and I'm just going to cut her out. So I have my Fiskar scissors, and they are pretty good for allowing me to maneuver easily. I don't know, I really like these better than any scissors that I've had. So I'm going to be pretty picky on where I am, how far I'm cutting away from the drawing, because I want it to be pretty tight around it. Where normally I'm not that tight when I'm cutting. And I'll zoom you out so you can see what I'm doing. Forgot that you were all the way zoomed in. Oops. And I'm trying to hold my scissors in one position and move everything else, which is easier said than done. I'm going to leave the head for last. Just because it's easy, it's not the easiest part. And the less paper I have attached to the doll, the better it is when I'm cutting it out. So it's much easier to guide the scissors around to guide the paper around the scissors than to guide the scissors around the paper. That was hard to say. So right here in these little small pieces, it's not that easy to cut. I find that even with the Saturday paper dolls, I find that very tricky to do every time to get to get it cut out properly. Oh, those flies are bothering me so much. I'm sorry. I feel like the only thing I'm doing is like complaining about the flies right now. We're almost there. Sometimes I have to give myself a little bit of encouragement because I really don't like fussy cutting all that much. And I don't know, you know, I am fussy cutting pretty much every day for whatever project I'm doing. So it's driving me all up the wall. Some days. What can you do? It's got to get done. Nobody else is going to do it for me. Wouldn't that be great? Like to have an assistant who will do all the fussy cutting for you. All right. She has been cut out. Okay. Now I've been sitting here thinking the whole time about whether or not I wanted to put this into my dilutions journal. And I'm going to. I really am going to. But I think I'm going to put it on this side. Right there. And I want to create some kind of a background. So I'm going to take my pencils and put them away. Because I have this book. And it has beautiful botanical images in it. But it has beautiful black and white images as well. So I kind of want like something like this on the side and something like that. So I'm going to pull these 2 pages out. And I'm going to grab my knife. Which, oh, go away, fly. Where would I have put my knife? It's like it was right here. Oh goodness, what did I do to it? Because it's still there. It's exactly still there. Okay, so I'm going to cut right here along the edge. And then that page should come right out. Just like that. Same with this one. Let's see if there's any more of those types of pages. Maybe in the back. No, these are all colored. Oh, go away. It's a beautiful book. It has beautiful images in it. I was like, well, I got it to use it, so why not? Use it for this. Like, look at this page. Look how beautiful that is. Just trying to see if I see anything else that I would like to put on there. And like, gorgeous. Like, it's a beautiful page edge, isn't it? That one as well. Okay. I can take the whole page. I can take the whole page. Let's just take the whole thing. That's going to make it a little easier. There we go. All right, so I have 3 pieces that I can use in the background. And I don't know why I think that that would be looking really cool. Let's see. If I put this here, and then this on there, what do you think? That looks pretty. I like that it has that drawn background. I like that. And then can I put, no, I don't think it needs that second piece. I think it is good just like that. What I can do though, is take some letters, some words, and put that behind it somehow so that we get a little bit of everything. I am going to carefully tear this. Like that. And now for my next trick. So I'm going to put this aside for a moment. I'm going to put this right here because I kind of want to give it a little bit of color. I don't want it to be so pale that it's white against the cream. I kind of want it to be a little creamy on top. So I can probably use my Distress ink in an antique linen, and I think that would bring it to the exact right color that I need it to be. It's a different kind of paper. Can you hear it? It's squeaking. Thanks, Joyce. It's so squeaky. Squeaky, squeaky. It is making awful sounds. sounds like it's screaming, doesn't it? Okay, that's one. I want to do the same with the words. Squeak, 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 squeak. I am having way too much fun. It's just squeaking so loud. It's like squeak, squeak. The mice have come back. Okay. So that's better. Put that aside. I do still want to use something with my Inktense. Let's see, what do I have here? I thought I had a sepia, but maybe not. That's a green. Chocolate. I'm sure I have a sepia. But I could very well be wrong. It's been happening a few times this week, so. What is this, red? You know what? I think I'm wrong. Seriously wrong. How weird. Not weird that I'm wrong, but weird that I thought I had one. And I'm sure not seeing it. I can use a tan maybe. Oh, don't do that. So what I want to do is kind of put a little bit of this on the edges. And then I'm just testing. Right now I'm just trying something out. To see if this will work, and I think it doesn't work, so I don't have to waste too much time with it. No, I don't like it. Well, I started it now, so now I have to finish it. So the Inktense pencils are, of course, once they're on and you've gone over them with some water, they are permanent. So that is the nice thing about them. I'm just going with a little water brush. Just right along the edges, giving it a little bit of extra definition. There. Oh, once I put it on that paper, that looks so good. So I am going to do this, and because I do like how that looks. Two, and I think for here I just want like the torn edge to be a little bit more defined, so I'm putting some of the tan just on that torn edge. And I will go over that with the water brush. Because that makes the color just come out just that little bit more. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Okay. Ta-da! I am just putting my markers away so I have a little bit more space. And let's see, put you aside. This is gonna go right here. And you can see how pretty that looks with that darker edge on the on that torn edge right now. I'm grabbing my glue. I'm just going to glue this all up. Because you do need a background for when you're doing stuff like this. Oops. And then I need those two pieces of right here. So let's put this. I want her to be kind of like that. This can go right there. And then this can go, oh, go away, fly. I don't want you here. I think like that. That would work. So we'll ink this one up. Right there. Where are we at for time? We've got half an hour left. I don't know why I always say like I just want to do 3 hours, no more than that. But for me, that is kind of the sweet spot. After 3 hours, I'm kind of done. And I'm sure after 3 hours, you guys are done with me too. Because then the projects just become too tedious to make it fun. It's got to stay within the fun part. So this can go right there. And then she goes right here. So then it looks like that. I like it. I like it a lot. I may, however, grab a little bit of the walnut infusions and just give it um, a little bit of that. I don't know what to call it. And just to quickly dry it. There, that gives it just that little bit of extra color. And then when I put this on there, it just makes this look bright and colorful, and the background is a little bit more muted. Let's glue her on here. And that is the last step of this project. Did you guys enjoy this? Like, is this something that you like or don't like, or and of course, like, you can use whatever colors you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I was also thinking it would look really cool on watercolor paper, and then use watercolors to color it in. There's all the different options. Alrighty, let's get her on here. And once she's on there, I am going to take a black pen, or maybe a brown pen. What do I have here? I have gold. I don't think I want to do gold. I have a black pen. I had a black pen, for sure. Where the heck did I put that? Grab a different black pen, and I'm just going to outline the doll. I'm trying to pick this up. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to give it a quick outline. And that's fairly easy. You just kind of let the shape of the paper guide your pen. Me? Okay. You want me to come and help you? Yeah. I'll be right there. Just give me a second. Okay, so now it just gave it just that little bit of extra definition. Like it doesn't do a whole lot, but it just gives it that little pop out of the page. I do need to come up with some kind of a frame around it, and that I don't know. I have no idea. So, I don't know if I want to force anything or I just don't know. I think I like it kind of just like it is right now. What do I have here? Do I have anything here that I could put on there with it? But then I think I'm going to make it too bulky. And that was exactly what I didn't want to do. However, this would look really pretty with it. I have nothing else to go with it. So I'm just gonna put that aside. Done. I don't know what I can do for a border. So I'm going to leave it as it is right now. I don't know what else to do. So I've actually made it within a little bit of time. So I have time for a little chat. Corey, are you still here with us? Nancy, are you still here? I'm just tidying up, doing a roll call, seeing who's still here. I know Sherry's still here. I know Joyce is still here. I'm pretty sure that Nancy is here too. Okay, so So tomorrow is Paper Doll Saturday. There's no video on Sunday. And then there might be one on Monday. There might not be. But because I am kind of finishing up the August project and it's not done. So if I don't get it done by Monday or by Sunday, then I'm going to have to finish it on Monday, and then the first video will be on Tuesday. However, the goal is to have it done and be able to present it on Monday. And then it'll kind of be running in the same idea as the Adventures to Bacon Range City. That is my goal. So I just have to finish it. And that's where I'm at. And I think, like, I know that I am like, I'm very far already. So I know that I'm going to get it finished either tomorrow or I'll get it finished on Sunday. And then I can do a run through for the very first day. And I think you guys are going to like it. I do. I really do. It is a very, very pretty project. It is much more adult than the Adventures of Bacon Rind to Bacon Rind City. But it is very pretty and very. I'm having a lot of fun with it, which normally I would say like that's all that matters. But I'm wanting you guys to like it too. So that's, you know, that's kind of a challenge to make something that you like and I like, and we are all on the same page and we can play with it together. And that's kind of my what I'm working towards. So I hope you enjoyed the coloring page. If you want something more like this on Fridays, let me know. I'm very open to it. I'm actually very open to any suggestions for anything on the Fridays. I am enjoying them, and you know, I see a lot of you guys coming back every Friday, so I hope that you are that would give me the thought that you like it too. So leave me a comment and let me know if you have any ideas of something that I can do on a Friday, or that you would like to see, or, you know, challenge me. Give me a challenge. Let's see what I can come up with if you ask me to do something. I am going to say good night. Have a great weekend. I will see you tomorrow for Paper Doll Saturday. And I hope you will enjoy that one. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.